Once upon a time, there was a tiny kingdom where the land was rich and the people were happy under the wise rule of a young king. The kingdom lay near the mountains of Ventara and at the edge of Dockmoorn Forest. Strange things had been seen deep in the secret heart of Dockmoorn Forest, and tales were told of the evil presence that lurked there. It was harvest time in the valley, a time when, according to tradition, the king would lead a procession of thanksgiving through the town. The day was hot and the road was dusty, and it happened that the king, to quench his thirst, stopped at the house of the miller. Now, the miller was a man who sometimes stretched the truth. No one could deny his delight in, shall we say, exaggeration.
Why, before I became a miller, I was with the royal court. A most important person, too. As a matter of fact, I could have been a knight. I could have been a dragon slayer. I could have been
a dragon slayer? Indeed. Retired, I'll wager. We could have used you at the wars. However, since we were robbed of your strong arm, could you now use it to pour an ale for your thirsty king?
This brew doesn't honor your majesty. Please, try some of my wine.
Fit for a king, no doubt. Your own vintage?
Of course. My daughter will bring you a bottle. Daughter? Wine for the king. Ah, my daughter. Not only is she lovely, but truly skilled with all crafts.
Indeed.
Indeed, your majesty. Why, she weaves the finest cloaks from thistledown. She charms birds from the trees with her sweet voice. She dances in the moonlight with nymphs. She can even spin gold from humble straw.
My dear Dragon Slayer, I am anxious to meet this paragon of virtue.
Your Majesty, my daughter.
The king was entranced by the young girl's beauty, much to the miller's satisfaction.
So, this is the spinner of gold.
As I live and breathe, your Majesty.
Oh, Father.
Very well, then. Your daughter shall come to the castle and spin some gold. But if she can't, we shall see if you continue to live and breathe.
That evening, the miller's daughter was given a room high in the castle's tower. If she failed to turn straw into gold, her father would surely suffer for his boasts.
We will see spools of gold in the morning, my dear Dragon Slayer.
As the desolate hour of midnight struck, the poor miller's daughter sank deeper into despair. Her only comfort, the companionship of a little dove.
Oh, little one, what am I to do? My father will surely be punished.
When suddenly...
What?
So, the king is playing a game with you and your father.
Who are you?
That is my secret. I've come here to help you. You need know nothing more. What will you give me to turn this straw into gold, my dear?
I have very little. Would you take this?
That'll do. For now.
Now, my storytelling friend, we shall see the value of your words. Perhaps you can slay dragons as well. You're lucky to have such a talented and beautiful daughter.
Yes, Your Majesty. Why, she can spin even more than this. Twice as much with no trouble at all.
If that's what it will take to keep her near me for one more night. So be it then, Miller. She will be given twice as much straw for her task this evening. Now, let's be gone and let her rest. I'm astounded you're not a wealthier man by virtue of your daughter's talent at spinning.
Truly, sire, I have never been a greedy man.
It's a nice night, a nice black night. It's a fine night, a nice black night for worms. And bats and snakes and rats. It's a fine night, a nice black night. It's a grand night, a very nice night for slugs. And murk and mire and ooze. And my dears, a very nice night for me. A very nice night for me.
The king's duties took him away from his castle, but his thoughts kept returning to the miller's lovely daughter.
Oh, little dove, am I only a spinner of gold to my king?
Hopelessly, the miller's daughter waited in the locked tower room. By the spinning wheel sat an even larger pile of straw. The kingdom lay silent in sleep. Outside the tower room, the guard felt the touch of an icy wind. At dawn, after what seemed an amazingly short night to the guard, the king and the miller arrived. But in those missing hours, the heaps of straw had been magically spun into gold.
Oh, phew.
Sire, I've done your bidding once more. And now I would like to leave.
Your Grace, forgive my daughter. She is tired and her voice gets ahead of her mind.
Do not upset yourself, Dragon Slayer. Many of us chatter on like empty-headed magpies.
Your Majesty, the suggestion that my thoughts are of little use to anyone upsets me. Because you listen to my father's boasts and you hope to ridicule him. You locked me up in your castle tower for 2 days and nights, turning straw into gold. Is the treasure house so empty that the miller's daughter must fill it?
Your Majesty, if your coffers need to be filled, my daughter would happily spin twice as much again tonight.
I accept your offer, if you will accept mine. I offer you my love, my heart, and the throne of Queen, if you will marry me.
We accept.
Father, I will consider your offer of marriage very carefully.
Oh.
On the third night, the miller's daughter could barely find the spinning wheel. The entire floor was covered with straw.
A final night of turning straw into gold.
But I have nothing.
As the hours of darkness fled by, the mysterious little man transformed the heaps of straw into spools of golden thread with magical speed.
Well, the job is done. Now to discuss the price.
But I tried to tell you, I have nothing left to give you.
But you will have. You and the king are to be wed. You will bear him a child. And that child I will take.
No, wait, please.
There was joy and celebration throughout the kingdom when the miller's daughter and the king were joined in marriage. The Queen shared her pride in the new baby with the whole kingdom, but memories of the mysterious little man began to haunt her. When royal duties called the king to a distant land, the Queen's fears grew. In his absence, she watched over the child day and night.
Good evening, Your Highness. I've come for my payment. I will take the baby now.
You can't have my child. I never agreed. He'll be king one day.
A debt is a debt, madam. Besides, he will be king in my world.
I'll fight you with everything I have.
There is but one weapon to defeat me. My name, Your Majesty. Call me by my true name. But that's an incantation you'll never have.
I challenge you then. Give me but 3 days to guess your name.
Very well, Your Majesty. I do enjoy a good game. 3 days from now at sunset, you must know my name.
The evil little man's laughter chilled the Queen's blood. She had but 3 days to learn his name. A game, he called it. A game he could not lose. Queen ordered her soldiers to scour all the land, to search for the name that would destroy the demon, the name that would save her child. At dusk, the names were presented to the Queen. When a strange little man appeared, she read them. But none was right, and he gloated and laughed over her failure. As precious time slipped away, the wise men and scholars of the court searched through ancient books of magic, dusty scrolls and records of forgotten times. Their efforts proved useless, and that made the vile little man even more confident, and at day's end the castle echoed with his evil laughter. As the sun rose on the final day of the desperate game, the Queen's men ventured into the most remote regions of the kingdom. They saw many strange things, encountered great dangers, but nowhere did they find a single new name to help the Queen.
Our last day and still no success. Take heart, though. I, the great dragon slayer, will go forth and do battle once more. I swear to you I'll find out what old what's-his-name is called. Even if I have to ask him in person. I'll take the fastest horse. I'll gather the finest warriors. I'll raise an army of men.
The sun rode low in the sky as the miller set forth towards the mysterious place where evil lurked, Darkmoorn Forest. As he pressed on, he remembered every tale of the horrors that haunted the forest gloom. He thought of the beasts said to leap from the mist to devour horse and rider. Then, in the distance, a strange glow appeared. His heart pounding in fear, the miller crept closer.
It's a fine night. It's a very fine night for lizards. It's a fine night. A very fine night for slime. And on a night like this, how could Rumpelstiltskin be anything but fine? Rumpelstiltskin, that's me.
That's it. Rumpelstiltskin. Fly, little one, to the Queen. Turn and face the Dragon Slayer, you villain! Your ugly game is over.
So much for the Dragon Slayer. Sunset approaches. I mustn't keep the Queen waiting.
The first shadows of darkness crept over the castle when...
A young prince for Rumpelstiltskin.
Behind locked doors and guarded by armed soldiers, the Queen waited.
Your Majesty, your time is up.
But wait, the sun has not set.
It will. Tell me my name now, or the child is mine.
Don't come near me.
I've got it. I know the demon's name. His name is Rumpelstiltskin. No. Wait. Rumpelstiltskin. Stinky Grumpelwump.
The game is over and you have lost.
Huh?
Rumpelstiltskin!
That's it, Rumpelstiltskin.